Good evening. Can you see my slides?
Good evening. Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yes. Shall we start now? Our lectures, today lecture. Yeah, there are 9 participants. Okay, it's time to start the lecture. Today we are going to discuss on curriculum theories. Yesterday we discussed about the concept of curriculum, benefits of curriculum, purpose of curriculum, core elements of curriculum. Today we are going to discuss curriculum theories. We'll see. Yeah. Numerous scholars have commented upon what they perceive to be curriculum. Their ideas, their findings are developed as theories. First, we are going to see some of the areas here in this slide. It describes about curriculum. Then we are going to move to the theories. Goodson in 1994 described, because we need some basic ideas. Already we studied what is curriculum, but in order to get the correct fact from the curriculum theories, we need some basic ideas. Here, this curriculum as a multi-phased concept, constructed, negotiated, and renegotiated at a variety of levels. And there are 2 and now one should be avoided, and a variety of arenas. Why we have to discuss this? Because there is no general agreement about the curriculum, where we can see when we discuss what is described in different theories. Longstreet and Shan in 1993 consider that curriculum is an historical accident. It has not been deliberately developed to accomplish a clear set of purpose. It has a long history. Time to time, new ideas added to curriculum or to describe what curriculum is. Therefore, actually we can't study the historical development of curriculum in detail, but here and there we can get some ideas how this curriculum has been developed. Rather, it has evolved as a response to the increasing complexity of educational decision making. The education too has its own history. The history of the curriculum is highly connected with the history of education. Time to time, education system, education objectives, content in the education, assessment method being changed according to the changes taken place in the field of education. The ideas of curriculum also changed, both in both side, two side of a coin, curriculum and education. I related two things. Therefore, time to time, when the objective of education is developed or changed, the definition on curriculum also changed. It is certainly the case that curriculum has been a matter of intense debate during the 20th century. You can understand this debate when we compare the theories one to one. There has been all kinds of priorities put forward, including citizenship demand, social demand, personal development, priorities, and occasional training pressure. As I said yesterday, we can categorize into two type of benefits: non-academic related benefits and academic related benefits. The occasional training pressure, teaching job-oriented subject, comes under this academic related benefit. Pressure ranging from practical school-focused approaches to curriculum and its development. In the 20th century, lot of changes took place in the education system, school system. According to that changes, we had to create new theories to cope with or to explain the curriculum. Theoretical perspective of different kinds of the technical scientific management approaches. We can, because the theories are very important to understand what curriculum is, to develop a curriculum, to develop models, curriculum models. We need some theories, curriculum theories. It gives, curriculum theories give framework to develop curriculum models. Over the decades, many definition of curriculum have been provided. You may wonder, yesterday also we studied about definition of curriculum, but today also we have to study some curriculum. That definition on curriculum help us to understand the curriculum theory. But because key players in education represent a diversity of values and experience, here we can see that it is extremely difficult to get wide public or professional consensus. There are a lot of debate, disagreement when we try to define the curriculum. This curriculum is definition of curriculum concerned on the following facts. Whenever we develop a comprehensive definition of curriculum, we should consider the following fact. I have given in small sentences. One, very simply we can give definition. Curriculum is that which is taught in schools. Very simple answer, easily we can understand, but it is not the full answer, complete answer. We can simply say curriculum is a set of subject. Normally in practice, we say sometimes when there is a reform, we say syllabus changes, subjects changes, new subjects are introduced. We explain when a country brings a new curriculum reform. At the bottom level, their explanation is about changes in the subject. Curriculum is content. I can give one example. In Sri Lanka, in 2013, they did a curriculum reforms, particularly in A level, new streams, biotechnology, they developed new subject, science for technology, biosystem technology, engineering system technology. Then they created content. I was in the field, then we had a problem. It is a mixture from different discipline. At that time, we could not find teachers to teach that subject. Whenever we discuss with the BSc graduates, they answered certain topic that they could teach, but there are some new content, new topics cannot be taught by them. They said the content, without a subject content, there is no curriculum. There should be a setup of subject, topics, content to be included in the curriculum. Curriculum is a set of materials. What are the materials? Textbooks. One of the main material is textbook. I can give one example. In 1972, Sri Lanka introduced a new curriculum replacing GCE O-level. They introduced NCCE, new subject, national subject. They introduced more occasional subject in the secondary curriculum. The one major key reason for the failure of that curriculum reform introduced by the Ministry of Education. At that time, we had no National Institute of Education, but we had Curriculum Development Department. To teach that curriculum, we had no materials, no books, no proper content. That it was one main reason for the failure of that curriculum. Therefore, curriculum, to deliver the curriculum in the school level, we need some setup materials. Now, in the modern society, 21st century, many education system, they use digital devices, computer, multimedia projector, it's even smartphone, tablet, lot of new materials they use. In the past, still the publication department in Sri Lanka, they publish books. Now the new reforms, they have prepared modules instead of textbooks. Those are very famous materials used to deliver the curriculum. Therefore, there is no curriculum without materials. Teaching materials, teaching learning aid. Yes. Another very simple explanation, curriculum is a set of performance objectives. Even yesterday we discussed about these terms that we have been using. Now we don't use learning objectives. Instead of objectives, we started to use the term competencies, competency levels. Now, in the current education process, we use learning outcome. There should be either objectives, smart objectives, or specific objectives, competencies, competency levels, learning outcomes. Without that part, there is no curriculum. Curriculum is that which is taught both inside and outside of school and directed by the school. What is this outside of school and directed by the school? The teachers, they can give assignment to students to do assignment, submit their report, collecting from the community, because now it is highly emphasized classroom is only one platform to learn the children. The children, students, learners, they should collect information, they should collect data from the society, from their family. Now there are a lot of sources. Website, they can use new technology to collect information related to a topic, and they can analyze and get more information related to their topic. Now the teachers, they have become as facilitator to guide the children. Therefore, we do not depend the current society, the student, they do not depend only on the classroom work to improve their knowledge. Curriculum is that which an individual learner experiences as a result of schooling. The schooling is one of the main function in our life. That is a fundamental right. Getting education, fundamental human rights, education for all. Slogan is there. There is a program, global program to educate all the children born in, in the world. The curriculum is that which an individual learner experiences as a result of schooling. There is no school without properly designed curriculum. For the operation of a school, the curriculum is a basic factor. Curriculum is everything that is planned by school, personnel or authorities, teachers, educationists, authorities. They take part and plan. In future, we will learn curriculum planning, how it is planned, what are the factors, variables contribute in a curriculum planning. Later we can study that. Some of the above definition of course very ago and too narrow, not complete, but we can assemble some ideas on curriculum by going through these small facts related to pertaining to curriculum. Not all leaders will be satisfied by this definition of curriculum, but it does least cater for a number of perspectives and value orientations. This definition is not complete definitions, but it gives some ideas us to understand what curriculum is. Yes. According to section, to note definitional shift over the decades going from fixed courses of the study, terminology to broader term such as learning opportunities and experiences which a learner encounters. We, time to time, we change some terminology that we use in the field. Learning opportunity, learning environment, fixed courses of the study, experience which a learner encounters. Thus, it might be argued that these shifts in definition over the decades represent conceptual progress. Tenor and Tenor in 1980, they said, because the some of the definition that we use now, in future, we can get new definition on curriculum because of the rapid changes taking place in the world as well as in the field of education. Therefore, the meaning of curriculum is not a stagnant thing. It is not rigid in its scope. The scope of a curriculum can be expanded. It is very dynamic in nature, growing. It is intended for the child development. The scientists, they talk about new generation, alpha generation. Therefore, in order to cope with new generation, 21st century generation, we have to adjust, modify the curriculum time to time. Therefore, the definition on curriculum also can be changed time to time. New things, new ideas can be added to the definition on curriculum. New theory on curriculum can be developed. New models, curriculum models can be developed by experts. Right. Here, that is some basic ideas about curriculum. Here, mainly in our school system, the curriculum identified as total curriculum. In Sri Lanka, we use this total curriculum first, and that total curriculum is divided into two main parts: formal curriculum, informal curriculum. Formal curriculum, later we will study about formal curriculum, characteristic of formal curriculum, how formal curriculum implemented in our school system, what are the requirements needed to implement formal curriculum, train teacher, materials, textbooks, timetable, time allocation. There are a lot of factors related to formal curriculum. Informal curriculum it has two more branches: co-curriculum, co-curricular activities, then hidden curriculum. Co-curricular activities, you are very familiar with. I think you are very familiar with that term. Sports, games, cultural activities, language skills development. There are a lot of curricular activities in our country. That is not common to all the schools. That is, co-curricular is flexible. Some according to their facilities, resource, they can organize different co-curricular activities. Co-curricular activities highly connected with the school tradition, school resource, and even culture. Culture also contribute for the co-curricular activities of a school. In curriculum, later we can learn in detail. Actually, hidden curriculum, it is not taught by the school, but student learn. Without teaching, it is a practice. Hidden curriculum is a school practice. Hidden curriculum is a school culture. From that practice, from that cultural school culture, children learn some value. Children learn appropriate behavior through hidden curriculum. Extracurriculum, actually this term is now in the government schools, they do not use, but there is a different between co-curriculum and extracurriculum. Later we can study one example I can give. If there is a program in the school to curb drug abuse, dengue, disease prevention activities, we can say extracurriculum. Later I can give more example on that. This is the concept. This concept important because in some countries they don't use the term total curriculum, but in Sri Lanka we use the term total curriculum. From total curriculum we identify the curriculum that we implement in our school system. Total curriculum, formal curriculum, informal. There are two branches, mainly co-curriculum and hidden curriculum. There is another sub-area we can identify as extracurriculum. Right. Now, before I am giving some basic ideas before this as a basic idea to understand the theory on curriculum, conception of curriculum, prevailing conception of curriculum. The prevailing conception of curriculum can be classified into 4 major categories. These very important fact we need to keep in our mind, because this concept gives basic concept, give basic idea to develop theories, humanistics, social reconstructionist, technological, academic. Curriculum theories are constructed based on the above conception of curriculum. We need this conceptual knowledge us to understand the theories that we are going to study. Right. Proponents of each have different question about curriculum. What should be taught? That question gives foundation for some ideas to develop curriculum theory. To whom the selected knowledge, selected subject content, to whom? Next question. When? The primary, when the students are primary, when the students are junior secondary classes, when the students are senior secondary classes, when the students are the university. That is another question. How? No common answer to those questions. That's why different theories we can find in the field of curriculum. The humanists hold that the curriculum should provide personally satisfying experience for each student. Later we can get more ideas about humanist theory. Here, now I am giving only one example. The new humanists are self-actualizer who view curriculum as a liberating process that can meet the need for growth and personal integrity. Should we teach all the subject to all the students, whether the children they have freedom to select their subject, whether the parents have their own selection. Now, what is the system we have in our country? It is a curriculum, formulation of a curriculum is a centralized process. Government decide what are the subjects should be included, what are the subject, co-subject, compulsory subject, what are the subject, elective subject or optional subject, group subject, basket subject, different name used by the curriculum designer. And we force the children, we give some compulsory subject, whether they like or not, whether they wish or not, without considering, analyzing their interest, their ability, we try to deliver the curriculum, teach the subject. Now we have to revise that. Is it okay? Whether the adults should decide what are the subjects to be taught, what are the subjects that children should learn, neglecting their ability and interest? Yes, that is a question. That is the issue. Therefore, in the theory, when we learn curriculum theory, we can give answer to those questions. One another example. Later we can say study these social reconstructive theories. It is another curriculum theory. Social reconstructionist, they stress societal needs over individual interest. Individual development or social development, society development. The curriculum, the priority to which area? Individual development or social development, society development. They stress not individual interest, but social need. Yes, we have, that is the question, that is the problem that we have. As teachers, as curriculum implementers at the school level, we have that problem. They place primary responsibility on curriculum to effect social reform. and generate a better future for society. That is their argument. Therefore, whenever we plan for a curriculum, whenever we develop a curriculum, whenever we implement a curriculum, we should focus on the better future for society. Because we are social animals, we live in society, we live in a society. That is very important platform to make our life success. That is the argument. Not individual development, but society development, social development. They emphasize the development of social values. Even yesterday I mentioned the social evils. What are the major problems in our country? There are a lot of threats in our society. Drivers, they do not obey to the traffic rules and regulation. A certain percentage of people in this country, they do not obey to the public law. They involved in different crimes. There is no fair and just society. Our life is in danger. Even in the parliamentarian days out, they have no security. Their life is danger. Therefore, we have to consider, according to this social reconstructionist, that theory, they focus on social better society, better society. The curriculum that we develop should focus on for a better future society. They are used in the critical thought process. We teach religion as a subject, lot of co-curricular activities, hidden curriculum. As I said, we have in the school level, we highly worried about student discipline, but after their schooling, they are in the society, large number of youth, adults, they involved in various criminal activities. They were in the schools. We taught them. But we have to rethink whether our curriculum was success to create a good society in this country. Later we can, this theory I am giving the basic ideas. In detail we can see. The next one is technological view on curriculum. Technologists view curriculum making as a technological process for achieving whatever ends policymakers demand. In Sri Lanka, government, the parliament, cabinet, They are the policy makers, key policy makers. What is their demand? Since the education is handled by the government, general education handled by the government, simply they can't implement any curriculum. There should be some technical process, technological process, system, law. They need law in order to implement their policy, cabinet decision, parliamentary law, circular, gazette notification. Yes, those are related to technological aspect. They consider themselves accountable by producing evidences which indicates that their curriculum attains intended objectives, whether that the curriculum is to develop individual ability or it serve for the betterment of a society. This technologist viewer, they say there should be objectives. The fundamental of a curriculum objectives. It should be started with writing objectives. Technologists will first they say develop learning objectives, curriculum objectives. Now in Sri Lanka we say national education goals. By 1997, we formulated 9 national goals, educational goals. Later, we have reduced to 8. 2020 by 2020 new education reform developed. They reduced it to 6 very simple, measurable objectives, but unfortunately that reforms was not implemented. Now the new government is going to implement new curriculum next year. Then we can discuss later when we'll discuss curricular reforms in Sri Lanka. At that time, we can discuss the objectives. Still, it is followed very key component of a curriculum, that is objectives or goals. Technologists view curriculum development as a process that integrates technology to create effective, engaging, and relevant learning experiences. Technology view curricular development as a process that integrates technology to create effective, engaging, and relevant learning experience. This view, we can't teach the subject without objectives. The subject that we select should be based on the objectives. Learning experience should be given to achieve the objective already decided. Their perspective emphasizes using technology not just as a tool but as a fundamental part of the curriculum knowledge base. Focusing on student-centered approach like active, collaborative, and problem-based learning. The goals may include developing skills and knowledge for the modern world. One very good example at the global level for 21st century, they have formulated international community experts. They have formulated 3 different categories of skills. They expect the curriculum formulator, curriculum planner should consider those skills, 21st century skills, learning skills, literacy skills, life skills. They make request to all the countries to include those skills into their curriculum. Unless they forecast that is important skills to face the 21st century challenges successfully. Fostering teachers as reflective practitioner. This theory changed the role of expect the teachers should change their role. Reflective practitioner. Teachers are not teachers. Practitioner. They have to change their teaching method, their teaching approaches according to the prevailing situation. And designing learning that aligns with both student needs and technological advancement. The current society, there is no life, there is no successful life without technology. Our life is highly connected with modern technology. The communication, marketing, health, transport, every activity is highly connected with new technology. Therefore, the new curriculum designer can't formulate any curriculum neglecting the modern technologies, information technologies, digital era. Finally, person with an academic orientation see curriculum as the vehicle by which learners are introduced to subject matter. We can't neglect the knowledge part, knowledge component of the curriculum. Subject. The 21st century, we discuss about STEAM. Key subject. There is a spelling mistake. Subject, BB. Introduced to subject matter. Science, technology, engineering, maths. Sri Lanka, we have added 1A, aesthetics. Disciplinized to organized field of study. Academic orientation. Because the current society is identified as knowledge society. Peter Teger introduced knowledge economy. Knowledge is one of the key production factor. Therefore, we can't neglect the subject matter into our curriculum. Academic orientation view. They view the organized content of subject as a curriculum to be pursued rather than as a source of information for dealing with local and personal problems. Yeah. In the society, we need doctors, we need engineers, we need IT experts, we need administrator, different type of people we need, different type of human resource we need. Therefore, different subject should be taught in schools to produce doctors. Doctors need knowledge pertain to medicine, medical field. In order to produce engineers, they need some subject knowledge. According to this academic orientation view, in other way, we can't neglect the knowledge. Therefore, the curriculum should focus on academic orientation. They assume that the academic curriculum is the best way to develop the mind. That is another argument. Not only the skills, not only the technology. We need some subject knowledge. They emphasize academic orientation. They emphasize on subject knowledge. That mastery of kind of knowledge commonly found in such a curriculum contributes to rational thinking. We need knowledge about chemistry, geography, the world, environment, to understand the business world, economic, to develop the economic of a country. We need knowledge. Therefore, the curriculum cannot be formulated without considering the academic orientation. Core concept in academic views on curriculum. Again, academic view. We are going to discuss. It's a cyclical and ongoing process. Curriculum development is not a one-time event. We can't have now our government involved in developing a new curriculum. They are going to initiate the implementation, grade 1, grade 6. That curriculum, not for another 25 years or 50 years. Time to time, we should revise. But an interactive cycle of planning, implementing, curriculum evaluation to continually improve learning outcomes. A plan for learning. It is considered a structured plan that outlines the what is the subject content, why, how that why, the answer to the question why expressed through the objectives, learning outcomes, and how, that is teaching methods of an educational experience aiming to improve students' knowledge. Yeah. This academic view put the knowledge first, then his skills and attitude. But the technology view, they put the skill first, then knowledge second. There is no common agreement between these two parties, two group of curriculum developers. Yes. Is student-centered and needs-based. That is a concept, not theory actually. That is a concept. A central academic tenet is that curriculum should be designed to meet the specific needs of learners. Without understanding the needs of learners, interest of learners, ability of learners, we can't decide what should be taught, how teachers should teach a subject, neglecting their abilities, interest, needs, we can't simply decide. That's why student-centered and need-based, we say, and adapt their diverse background and learning styles. There are many factors to be considered, they say. Specific needs, learners' ability, learners' interest, their background, and their learning styles. What they try to say, as teachers, we can't have only one teaching style. We need different teachers should be expert in use different teaching method, different teaching approaches, different teaching strategies. That is one view. Holistic and results oriented. That is another view. Contemporary approaches move beyond simple knowledge transmission to a more holistic view that includes developing social responsibility. we can't produce selfies. Balanced personality. Critical thinking. And problem solving skills. Preparing students for life beyond their classroom. We can't prepare the student for the exam. We should prepare the children for a happy life and success life. Holistic and results oriented view. That is a different view. Therefore, in our school, we can't simply teach subject, give them notes, prepare them for the exam, but we need some additional activities in the schools to develop the student social responsibilities. We can't ask the children to memorize fact. We can't motivate rote learning, but we need lot of activities in the classroom at the school level, them to develop their critical thinking skills and problem solving skills. It is highly emphasized in the current society. Our students should not be partners of the problem, not problem creators, but they should be the partners of the solution. Solution producers. We should produce a student who can solve problems. Yes, that is another view. Then you have to decide in the as current teachers, what is your view? What should be developed in the school? Right. Key shift in modern academic approaches. So far, we did not come to the main topic. What do you call? Easily we can understand the theory. I'm giving some basic idea you to understand the theory. Otherwise, the theory will be understanding theory will be difficult unless I teach these area. Now we have from content to competence. I was in the school as a student. Nobody discussed about the competencies. We were taught content. We were asked to read books. But no one discuss about the competencies. But the recent development in the curriculum reform, competency-based curriculum, the focus has shifted from a narrow emphasis on academic content to broader competencies. I gave example yesterday. What is competency? Competency, ability to perform a given duty or job. Abilities to do a work effectively and efficiently. That is the meaning of competency. But according to this view, the knowledge alone not sufficient to do a work successfully, complete a work successfully. Skills and attitude and practical knowledge important component to do a work successfully. Knowledge, skills, attitude, practice. Competency and skills needed for a rapidly changing world. Therefore, the modern curriculum we identify as competency-based curriculum, not knowledge-based or content-based curriculum. Next, emphasize on active learning. Lot of new teaching methods, learning activities recommended. Project based, you can remember when these new reforms introduced in Sri Lanka, they recommended two type of project work all over A-level students: group project, individual project. Project based and inquiry based learning models. They expect the students should be active participants, not passive listeners in the classroom. Project based and inquiry based learning models are increasingly the students should involve in experiment, group work, field visit. They should observe and raise question and produce new knowledge. Inquiry based learning models are increasingly adapted to promote active engagement and deeper understanding. Deep learning concept. There is a new concept, deep learning. But what we do in our country, we prepare the students only to answer the question. Past question paper in Sinhala Desa Anumana Prasna Pattara. What uttara liyanava. They have some setup question expected. The tuition classes, it is very famous. Assessment side, integrated assessment. Assessment is viewed not just an end of unit evaluation, but as a formative tool to provide ongoing feedback and guide student improvement. That is testing for teaching, formative assessment. when this continuous assessment at the beginning, they used the term continuous assessment. When they introduced continuous assessment, trade unions, teacher trade unions, and teachers opposed that. Then I saw a news expert from other countries. In Western countries, the teachers are fighting with the government that they need school-based assessment instead of their students are assessed by a central body like our Department of Examination. But in Sri Lanka, other side, the teachers are opposing that their students' ability are measured by themselves. We feel in Sri Lanka, we feel that is a burden to the teachers. But actually, it is not that. That is, power is given to the teachers to decide the future of the students. The talent they get the, in other word, we can say the process, power of the Department of Examination is decentralized to the class teacher. The class teacher become as a commissioner of examination. The subject teacher's mark is added to O-level certificate because of this school-based assessment. Those days, only the results of the commissioner of examination added to the result sheet, but the new system in the GCO level result sheet, school-based assessment mark is added. That marks is given by the subject teacher. The teachers are honored, recognized, accepted, but they do not understand the value of that program. Integrated assessment, they always like term test, they always like public exam, standardized exam system. But integrated assessment, this formative assessment, the new culture, assessment culture, but unfortunately in Sri Lanka, it is not implemented properly. Social and personal formation, another one, curriculum is seen as a tool for personal formation and social process. In the previous slide, we had a debate, personal formation or social betterment of the society. But here, both connected, aiming to develop responsible citizens who can contribute to their communities. That is another view. Responsible citizen, to develop responsible citizen who can contribute to their community. They try to balance personal aim and social aim. Social and personal formation viewer. 5. I do not think that we could complete all the theories today. If we could not, we can continue next week. Now we are going to start curriculum theories. Yes. You got some basic idea that concept, views, different view, ideas are in this theory. Without that knowledge, we can't understand the theories. Now we are going to get answer to a question. What is curriculum theory? Pierre Chep in 1982, he is helping us to get answer. In an effort to answer the question, what is curriculum theory? Yes. He says or stated it was necessary to clarify in what sense and how the word theory was used in the concept of curriculum theory. Various scholars have attempted to define a curriculum theory. Pio Champ defines a curriculum theory, a set of related statements that gives meaning to a school curriculum by pointing out the relationship among its elements and by directing its development, its use and its evaluation. By understanding the following theories, we can develop the knowledge on curriculum. When looking at the history of the concept of curriculum theory, it is necessary to draw attention to the conference, yes, Clibbert, Taylor, held at the University of Chicago in 1947. After the conference, Eric and Taylor wrote the article toward improved curriculum theory. In 1950, Kellin says, with this study, the concept of curriculum theory started to attract more attention. It has a short history, only 75 years. In the article and the conference, it was emphasized that curriculum development would be incomplete without curriculum theories. What they advise, what is the message they try to give? Any country, any institution, if they try to develop a curriculum, they need knowledge on curriculum theories. They should select one or more appropriate theories as a foundation to their curriculum. Curriculum theories give framework to develop a curriculum. Curriculum theories give ideas to formulate or develop curriculum. Therefore, the curriculum developers, they need good knowledge on curriculum theories. finally, we can see the benefit of curriculum theories, but at the beginning also you should understand it. MacDonald in 1971 stated that curriculum theory is one of the least understood concept in the curriculum area, but it basically means examining what kind of a learning environment to have. That is his opinion. Biao defined curriculum theory as set of proposition which add meaning to a school curriculum acting in relation as a whole. That their opinions about curriculum theory. McCutcheon also considered curriculum theory as a setup analysis, interpretation, and understanding of curriculum phenomena. Curriculum theory is defined in the Encyclopedia of Curriculum Studies as an interdisciplinary curriculum study that deals with the curriculum in historical, sexist, political, racial, international, postmodern, autobiographical, and religious dimension. That is a very broad definition, explanation about curriculum theory. Platon, Osechi, and Whitehead in 2006 defined a curriculum theory as a set of related educational concept that affords a systematic and illuminating perspective of curriculum phenomena. Hewitt in 2006 opined that the curriculum theory is a set of proposition, observation, facts, beliefs, policies, and procedures proposed or followed as a basis for curriculum action. That is a very good one. More facts given. Marsh and Willis, 2007, assert that curriculum theories are assets of principles and methods sufficiently worked out and rationalized to provide a guide for creating curricula. These are their opinions. Some more. Curriculum theory is a sub-theory of educational theory. They assert that all theories are derived from three broad categories of knowledge. What are the area we cover in a curriculum? The humanities, natural science, social science. Three major areas of subject: the humanities, natural science, social science. These division of knowledge are well established as the basic curriculum of knowledge. If we go through the subject that we teach in our school, we can put under these three categories. Humanities include discipline of philosophy, music, art, and literature. Some example. Social science encompasses history, sociology, psychology, and anthropology. Natural science include third part, chemistry, physics, botany, geology, among others. These view theories, they have helped us to categorize the subject that should be taught in the schools. Education draws from the social science, but borrows from both humanities and natural science. The streams in Sri Lanka we call arts stream, science stream, subject. What are the subjects and coming under science? What are the subjects coming under arts? These theories helped us to identify what is art stream, what is science stream. Education combines knowledge from various disciplines. Curriculum theories fall under education theories. Right. Before studying curriculum theory, curriculum theoretics. There are some people they have contributed to the theories, to develop theories. I do, without giving any opportunity you to ask any question, I continue with my lecture. That is not correct approach, correct teaching method. I can give couple of minutes. If you have any question, you can ask. If you have any doubt, unclear area that so far studied, I don't know how the assessment process. I should talk to your organizer whether I should give any assignment, any only for final exam or assignment that you have. I don't know that details. Okay. The understanding the theory is not a big problem. The term theory, you don't think it is a serious area. We can easily understand because I feel I understand. I believe that you might have understood some of the ideas, background knowledge. You to understand. I gave the background knowledge. You to understand the theory that we are going to learn. That is briefly I have included, not in very detail. This now we'll see curriculum theoretics. Early theory in curriculum can be traced with the work of various educationists. Frankly, Puppet's work. The curriculum was the starting point in theorizing in curriculum. Without theorizing curriculum, according to him, there is no curriculum. He emphasized looking for truth in curriculum field, because the theories help us to understand the truth. That is the function of good theory. Theories help us to get organized knowledge. It attempts to say the truth in the world. In addition, John Dewey, very famous educationist, theorist in the field of education. Dewey's work, in which he tried to show the relationship between education and society. He says education is not preparing the people for life. He says education is the life. According to John Dewey, education and society highly connected to field. There is no society without education. Survival of a society depends on education. Also, Ralph Taylor, in his model of curriculum, we will learn in future, development emphasized on curriculum, objectives in the curriculum development process. He proposed 3 sources of curriculum objectives. Frankly Puppet, John Dewey, Taylor, the learners, the society, and the subject matter. Another scholar in this period was James B. MacDonald, who showed interaction between curriculum, instruction, and teaching. Everyone has contributed giving different views to curriculum. Curriculum theories can be placed in various categories as supported by various scholars. These include some are traditionalist. Traditionalists are mainly concerned with base for selecting, organizing, and sequencing curriculum content. They select traditionalist, traditional theories. They emphasized selection of subject, organizing the subject, sequencing curriculum content, primary level, secondary level, senior secondary level, higher educational level. Streams, arts, commerce, science, social science, natural science. They are involved in instructional theorizing. according to Pinner, traditionalists focus on schools and are less interested in basic research and in theory development. Traditionalists, they emphasized that whatever the teacher says, that is the education, that is the knowledge. But they did not recommend that, they did not recommend self-learning, these involving in research and other development. Examples are educationists Chuck John Dewey, Franklin Buffett, as I mentioned, Ralph Taylor, Hilda Dabo, George Fairham, Ronald Dole, and John Goodland. They have contributed a lot for the development of theory. Conceptual empiricists, these theorists are concerned with research for theory development. They develop hypotheses and test them. Ornstein and Atkins opine that conceptual empirists are actively exploring the application of cognitive science to curriculum and instructional research. Conceptual empiricists emphasize on content-based theories. Examples in camp include Benjamin Bloom, Jeremy Bernard, George Posner, and Robert States. These, yeah. I don't know whether we can complete the theories, curriculum theories. There are 1, 2, 6 or more, 7 theories. We can't finish all the theories today. Next week we can continue with from the place that where we stopped today. Yes. Here we can get one theory, some theories we call content-oriented theories, content-oriented curriculum theories. They are primarily concerned with determining content selection and organization. Subject matter. They tend to be prescriptive in nature. Most curriculum scholars agree on 3 major sources of curriculum content. The learner, as in child-centered curriculum, the society, as in society-centered curriculum, and subject-centered, knowledge-centered curriculum. According to these theories, the curriculum designer should consider these 3 aspects. The learner, the nature of the children, their age level should be considered. The curriculum should serve the society, should cope with the society interest, society-centered curriculum, and knowledge, subject matter. As in knowledge-centered curriculum, here there is no competency, skills, only three factors: learner, society, knowledge, or subject matter. According to this theory, these are the basic component should be considered in the curriculum developing process. Content oriented, process oriented theories. That is different from the previous theory. They are primarily concerned with describing and recommending how curricula are developed. It emphasizes the process. Some process-oriented theory are described in nature, others are prescriptive. The process-oriented theories provide guideline on an effective curriculum development process, such as Dayles model, Stafford's model, and Oliva model. They give guidelines how to develop a curriculum. Other scholars, Ornstein and King, suggest two major categories of curriculum theories. Design theory. Design theories which addresses the basic organization of a curriculum plan. Engineering theories that explain, describe, predict, or even guide curriculum development activities. They involve specific plans, principles, and or method or procedures. The discussion in this section reveals many categories of curriculum theories as advanced by many curriculum scholars. Design theory, engineering theory, process theories, content theories. In the curriculum, we can categorize according to these types. Yeah. Anyhow, we can classify the curriculum theories there are a lot of small theories and concepts, but finally we can identify some major theories. That is, next week we can discuss. We'll see only this classification of curriculum theories. Curriculum theories handled in different ways and named differently have been in an effort to create a system of thought about the curriculum. Although put in different categories by different theories, it will be seen that the different curriculum theory express the same idea in which terms of meaning and content when explained in details. Now I can give some ideas about this curriculum theory, different view, different concept, but the final, the last ultimate goal of the theory is this: to develop a curriculum which can be implemented at the school level. But different view, they stress different part. Some, they feel the curriculum should serve individual. Some say the curriculum should serve the society. The organization of the content. Some, they feel the process is more important than the subject content. Some people, some writers, they say the learner should be in the center of a curriculum. The different ideas, but their expectation is to serve, to develop a good curriculum to be delivered in the education system. The first classification for curriculum theories that will be explained in this study is Eisner and Valence in 1974. They identified academic rationalism, technology. Already we use this name. Based on that idea, they classify cognitive, process, self-actualization, humanistic theory, and social construction relevance theory. These are the main theories that we are going to learn in our next lecture. These terms, some facts related to this theory already discussed. Why we discussed, the reason for our discussion, then I try to give some basic ideas you to understand the theory that we are expecting to learn next week. Academic, technology, cognitive process, self-actualization, that means personal development, humanistic theory, social reconstruction is relevant theory. According to this argument, we can say whether the education should be personal development or social development. That is the major question. Some theories, they come to conclusion and agreement education should serve both individual development, social development. Social reconstruction relevance theory, they emphasize that. Okay, even since you are teachers, you have to take decision how that you are going to contribute for the individual development of the students, your student, and how you are going to contribute as teacher for the social development. Now we sometimes we use a word, it goes beyond that social development. Now we use the term national development. Unfortunately, the curriculum that we implemented in Sri Lanka, we did not connect the objectives of curriculum to the national development. That's why still we are underdeveloped country, poor country, large number of people, they suffer, their income level is poverty level. Their level is in the poverty level. But in future, but I can remember the education reform couple of years they developed. They emphasized, they wanted to connect our curriculum which support, which help for the national development, country development. Okay, now I think we can wind up here. Next week we can study the theories. Briefly, I have prepared ideas, the basic ideas. Today we studied different views, different input to the curriculum theories. Okay. Do you have any question? You can go through that. Sorry, I should say the last week I shared a PowerPoint presentation. That presentation is developed. I have added, I have reorganized some of the fact. Today I can share that. Ignore the previous one. 1 week ago, I can remember last week, I shared with you. Ignore that, but you can use this one.
Okay, sir.
You can go through this material.
Okay, sir.
Curricular theories cannot be sent. We have to close the file and send to it. Check whether you got it. Curriculum theories, PowerPoint presentation.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. Good night. Ignore the reading material of PowerPoint presentation that I shared last Saturday, maybe Friday. Instead of that, you can use this curricular theories. Okay, good night.
Sir, excuse me.
Yeah.
I have one doubt that you
Yes.
mentioned curriculum concept, right?
Yeah.
There, that extracurriculum means
Yes. Yes,
that means
extracurricular. Yeah. By 1950, 60, we used the term extracurriculum instead of co-curricular activities. But the Ministry of Education, once they sent a circular to the schools, not to use the term extracurricular. activities. But in other countries, they use the term extracurricular activities.
Yes,
Some
yes.
people, they identify the different between co-curricular activities and extracurricular activities. Actually, co-curricular activities is broader than extracurricular activities. Uh, some writer, they say some of the activities not closely related to our curriculum, but sometimes, time to time, our children, they have to get knowledge or develop some skills, impart some skill. We can give some example. During this COVID-19 period, we had some special program at the school level to prevent that
That means like workshop, right?
some extra additional program not already planned due to some incident taking place in the society, unexpected thing, dengue, and this COVID-19, some drugs. We have that problem. Uh, our new generation, they are addicted to drugs easily. In order to prevent, the school can organize some program. Another example I can give, this environment protection program, tree planting program. Time to time, the government, the Ministry of Education or other department, other ministry, they organize sometimes some program, like some people, they say this scout cadet, that is not
Yes,
compulsory
yes.
to all the children. They can select the girl guide. Those are coming under the extracurricular activities. But there is no general agreement on extracurricular activities. But in the past, in 1960s, 70s, Sri Lanka, we did not use the term co-curricular activities. Instead of co-curricular activities, they used extracurricular activities. But now the government, they had taken policy decision not recently, in 1980s, 90s. I can remember they had sent a circular to the school not to use the term extracurricular activities. That term should be replaced by co-curricular activities. Even I can remember, I have seen the circular, but now I do not available. Those days, when we write the character certificate, that is an important document issued by the school to the children who completed the school. We write extracurricular, so and so actively participated in extracurricular activities, but replacing that term, the principal, they started to use on the instruction of the Ministry of Education, so and so actively participated in co-curricular activities. Okay, there is they find sale. But when we discuss these extracurricular activities, we do not include these sports activities, some literature activities like English Day, Language Day. We have a lot of program at the school level. That those things are coming under co-curricular
Oh,
activity.
okay,
Okay,
okay, sir.
okay,
Thank you so much.
okay.
Hello, sir. Excuse me.
Yeah,
Sir, I need a favor. The
okay.
file that you shared the other day, definitions of curriculum,
Yeah.
it's unable to open.
What is the reason? That
It
problem?
shows need to repair. Immediately, that day also, and I shared a message in the
Shall I
other
share
group.
it once again?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is the first one, curriculum. The second one is definition of curriculum. We'll see that I don't know whether I shared the correct one. There is new another one also. That it should be theories. Yes, now I have shared 3 documents, curriculum, curriculum theories, yes, curriculum theories.
No, sir, I shared this file, a definition of curriculum. This is the one unable to open, which
Yeah.
I downloaded the other day.
The second one, ignore that. Don't worry about that definition of curriculum because I
Okay.
have changed the topic curriculum theories
Okay.
instead of definition of curriculum.
Okay,
And
sir.
I have reorganized the order, fax order and everything. Okay, ignore that
Okay.
definition of
Okay, sir.
most of the area that I had included in that definition of curriculum in the curriculum theories. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Good night.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Good night, sir.